Hi guys, welcome to the Murdoch Method. My name is Murdoch, and today what I thought we'd take a look at is we'd have a look over some changes in this BB King tune, The Thrill Is Gone. I put a little post out on my socials to see what you guys wanted me to go through. A lot of people came back and said playing over changes, so I thought that's what we'd take a look at. I decided to use Thrill Is Gone because it's a tune I think that we all know, and I also think that when you get into the weeds on this stuff, it can get bogged down and become a little bit convoluted. So I'm going to go step by step and talk about what I did. There is 2 turns through the 12 bar. The first one is just pentatonic stuff. I'm not going to break that down because that's not playing through changes. That's just playing one scale over the top of all your chords. Playing through changes means that you play through the chord progression and highlight the chords as you're going. If you take a look at the chord sheet, if you're watching on Substack that is, if you're watching on YouTube, get the link in the description and head over to my Substack. It's all free over there, so you'll have the tabs and you'll have a breakdown with everything written out for you. There's tabs, there's chord sheets and everything. Go have a look there, it's dead good. So yeah, the first time round, just played pentatonic. Second time around, what I did was I thought about it in groups of 4 bars. So the first 4 bars are just B minor. And I'm thinking about that as a B minor 6 chord. So not a B minor 7, B minor 6. What I do to highlight that is I just play the pentatonic and I play the 6, which is a G sharp. So getting that G sharp note in there. You can think about this as Dorian if you want to, but again, remember, we're thinking about the chords. We're not thinking about a scale that we can play throughout. So when I'm playing this, comes in on the B, big stab of that B note right at the top, 19th fret there. And just a BB King maneuver, he stabs a note and then he gives it a break and then he plays something sweet afterwards. So it's kind of like scare him and then give him a cuddle afterwards. Now this lick that I play here starts on the G sharp, so again, straight in on that 6. I'm leaving nothing to the imagination. You know what I'm doing here. And then down here, it's almost like a B minor 7 arpeggio, or a B minor 6. So play it down. The next thing that I do is just another BB Kingism. It's a big 4-step bend. And the way that you feel about that is you've got the B, you got a D, you got the note E, and you got the note F sharp. We're going to do a 4-step bend from this D to the F sharp. Big one, that one. Followed by a 2-step bend to the E. So together, and again, just quoting BB King. One of the things you want to do when you're doing your covers and you're doing your improvisations, quote a little bit. You can steal a few of the licks. It's called borrowing. It's nice. We do this all the time. The only way to do this is to steal other people's licks. So you got that. The Jack Roche thing that I stole is he does a 2-5-1 to the next set of chords. The next coming in is an E minor. And the way that he does a 2-5-1 for it is he takes, if you think about E minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 2 would be F sharp. The 5 is B, going back to 1, which is E minor. And you think about it like this, F sharp minor. It's an F sharp minor 7 flat 5. It's a weird diminished chord. Going to a B7, give us that pulling power back to the E minor. And the way I do it is dead simple. F sharp is the diminished, so I just literally diminished. So that's an F sharp, an A, and a C. And then we step down like this. It's almost got an E harmonic minor vibe about it, but again, no scales, we're thinking chords. So I'm thinking F sharp diminished, B major, with a dominant 7 there, and then stepping into the E. The next phrase that I did was this. Let's break that down real quick and have a look at what's happening, and then I'll explain it. You got a hammer on, and then little step, repeat process, hammer on, then step, and then I do one of these. So you got that flat 5, almost like a bluesy kind of thing. I guess another way to think about that is rather than E harmonic minor, which would be, there's a thing called the Gypsy Jazz Scale, where you take the A harmonic minor and instead of playing the 4, you play a sharp 4. So it's a nice replacement for E harmonic minor, but again, this is all about the inflection that you're trying to give this E minor chord. So I'll break that down again. And for me, what I'm thinking about there is this song, the turnaround, as you'll see on the chord sheet, goes G, F sharp, to B minor. Yeah? I'm just doing the same thing in my head, but from C, B, E minor. And so if you think about that as the chords, you've got the B triad here, and then the C, just flirting with those chords there. So I'm highlighting the B and the C chord over the top of the E minor. Spicy. All right. It goes back to B minor after that. So more sort of Dorian B minor 6y vibes. I'm totally thinking about that 6 G sharp. As it comes to the turnaround, you've got the G, the F sharp, back to the B. And what I do is I highlight a G dominant 7. So if you think about the arpeggio, it's what I've done is I've just stripped the roots out. So it's at this exact same note, just no G is in there. And so the lick then becomes, and then I got a nice big bend, that little chromatic run at the end there. When you think about it going from the G, G7, and then over the F sharp, I want the third of F sharp, which is an A sharp. So that's my target note, that's what I'm honing in on. So do that slowly. And you can get to that any way you want. Just 5 semitones. What I tend to do when I'm moving quite quickly, my first finger's here, so I'll go 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. Or 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. Whatever gets there first. I'm not really strict about my fingers. Practice it a couple of times and do whatever is comfortable. See there, I just drag that first finger back. Probably because I'm talking to the camera instead of thinking about the chords or anything. And that is essentially the entire thought process. What I did when I highlighted the chords is I written out what every chord was doing, and then I thought about how I want to interpret each of those. So I said, over the B minor, I'm thinking about it as a B minor 6 chord. Over that E minor, rather than harmonic minor, I'm thinking about the B and C relationship. Yeah, when it gets to the G, I'm thinking about it as a dominant 7 chord. And then a nice chromatic run into that F sharp. Oh, it's just ultimate spice. Another thing to bear in mind when you're doing this is if you do it over all of it, it just sounds really flat and really boring. So don't be scared of doing your pentatonic stuff. as we've proven for years, it works. But if you want to stretch out of that, these are some small ideas that you can do to implement them. I've also included a couple of tracks on there on Spotify to go over and have a listen to and see if you can figure out some fun ways to play over those as well. They're all minor blues, so if you look up the chords, write them out. Do this, actually write them out. Don't just look at them and think you know what you're doing. The way I've colour-coded them in the Substack there, do the same thing. Colour-code them so you can see exactly what each of those things are doing, and then you can start to imply some of these spiciness over the top of it. Alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have any questions or anything, drop us a comment. If you want to see some more videos like this, let me know what sort of stuff you're into and we can see about covering some of that as well. I'm going to try and get these videos out as regularly as I can. But yeah, follow, subscribe, like, do all that other good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers dudes, bye!